security operation that was being conducted in Kokarnag in Anantnag, which is in the southern part of Kashmir, south of Pir Panjal, an area which is known for its treacherous topography, an area wherein gun battle gets difficult, an area that now terrorists have started using again. Terrorism and deaths have gone down certainly. Neutralization of terrorists in the valley has gone up. But meanwhile, the South Kashmir, the south of Pir Panjal, that has been a problem, which is again snakes in the area that are rearing their head. It was a week-long gun battle, Nancy. Yeah. Security forces end week-long Anantnag operation. Lashkar-e-Toiba man among 2 terrorists that have been killed. There is also a side story which says that an electrician who turned terrorist was low on J&K police priority list. Maybe that's why he turned, his ways around. Meanwhile, search for live ammunition is going to continue. Mopping up exercises basically are going to continue now, Nancy.
Yeah, I was reading about it, and the biggest news that was that Uzair Khan, the one who was responsible for the
cell-style commander of Lashkar-e-Toiba's the resistance force, the RSF, something like that.
And the moment they announced that he has been killed, I think that was that was a declaration that the war is over, that encounter it has to stop. And what they were saying, that Khan's body was recovered after he was killed earlier in the forest near Gadul village of Kokarnag in North Kashmir's Anantnag district. During the week-long search and shoot operation, he was among 2 or 3 terrorists responsible for the initial gunfight, in which 2 army officers and J&K police, of course the brave hearts that we lost. And the toll has since has risen to 5 with the death of 2 more soldiers. So, although we have gotten a hold of the terrorist Uzair Khan, who was responsible for it, we, but at what cost? We already lost 5, brave hearts.
You're right, Nancy. You're right. You're right. Many people have asked that question. At what cost? But then again, Nancy, I've been saying it time and again, that this is something that we have to live with. This is something that we have to protect.
Definitely.
And this is a sacrifice that we will have to make. I know it's easier said than done for me to be, sitting here in the studio and saying it, but, it needs to be done. This is something that we have to constantly live with.
Yeah, definitely.
We have to make sure that the snake does not rear its head. And for that, encounter specialists and brave hearts like, Colonel Manpreet, like Major Dhonchak, like Muzammil Bhatt, the DSP of Jammu and Kashmir Police, and the 2 other soldiers that we've lost.
Officers, I mean, it's definitely, the way India retaliated, we always retaliate. I mean, I had faith in the army professions that they are going to get a hold of it. They are not going to let the sacrifice of these 3 soldiers go in vain. But my, the main concern still remains that these terror activities, they are going to spurge in every, a few intervals. There is another activity in the south of Kashmir. There is something going on again and again. So what is the exact solution that one has to figure out? But for now, this, the war is still going on. The battle has been won by, the army. We have gotten hold of Uzair Khan. And obviously the army officials have advised the civilians not to go in that area yet, because they're still mopping up. There are still, live grenades that are going to be harmful. But after, I think, 7 days of intense gunfiring, intense, shootout happening in the area, I think it's kind of a bittersweet victory that, finally it's over. We have lost 5 of our brave hearts. But I think the only, solution to this is that to get to the crux of it, to get to the root cause of this problem and find a permanent solution to this, because we cannot
Nancy, I don't think there is going to be a permanent solution. The permanent solution is going to be calling out Pakistan for funding terrorism, which we are doing on a global level. Meanwhile, let's not forget that it is difficult to weed out terror from that area. None of us, most of us haven't even been in that particular locality, in that location.
Definitely.
We don't even know what warfare means, in a forest-like situation in Gadul, in Kokarnag. Public has been told to stay away from the site of the gun battle. This is what the police is saying. Why? Well, because search operations will continue. We still have to search a large area. There will be lots of live ammunition as well. We will have to collect and destroy that. That's part of the gunfight. So let's just say that the gunfight has ended. The operation has not ended yet. It's mopping up. It has to continue because there is going to be live ammunition. This is what people still have to, the forces, our forces, or what we see is, strong, brave men with, sophisticated weaponry and right kind of Kevlar, armor on them, standing in those in front of nice lush valleys. But the reality is very different. The reality is very dark, treacherous. You're dealing with, a life-death situation every passing second. Wednesday's gunfight took place in Gadol's forest when the joint team forces led by senior officers were moving towards the suspected terrorist hideout. The team came under heavy gunfire, leading to the deaths of Colonel Manpreet Singh, commanding officers of the 19 Rashtriya Rifles, and Kokarnag, Major Ashish Dhonchak and Deputy Superintendent of Police Humayun Muzammil Bhatt. The bodies of Colonel Singh and Major Dhonchak were recovered the next day with the help of paratroopers and army mountaineers. Deputy Superintendent Bhatt was evacuated from the site of the gunfight on Wednesday evening with critical injuries, but he succumbed on the way. On Monday, the joint team of forces recovered the body of Sepoy Pradeep Singh, who had been missing since Wednesday's gunfight. Meanwhile, a week-long operation in the dense forest of Kokarnag in South Kashmir by the joint team of the J&K police and the army has come to an end, with the security forces saying at least 2 terrorists had been killed, including one identified as Uzair Khan of the Lashkar-e-Toiba. Last Wednesday, a day after the security forces started the operation on the basis of inputs of terrorists' movements in the area, an army colonel, a major and a deputy superintendent are brave hearts that we lost. Meanwhile, our security forces have persisted, ladies and gentlemen, but a long, long, long way to go, Nancy, when it comes to weeding out, terror from the area completely.